We're actually out here in Argentina on the hunt for wine, and the way we're getting there is going through the Concho Gorge. We're headed up to Cafayate, where they have some great vineyards and wineries, and we're gonna see what trouble we can get into. We're up here in the Concho Gorge, and I love seeing the difference in the structure than the ones we've seen in other places in North Argentina. These structures actually are because these plates got shoved up, they're full of iron, and then they got broken, and then they got made even more sharp by this river. So when you're standing out here, you kind of get the gist of how old and how much the earth changes. And what's also neat, the area we're in, this is called the area of the sun and the sky because they get 360 days of sun here. And even though they've got greenness, it actually just is a great place to hang out. One of the things we do here as we're riding around in North Argentina is every time we need to go to the bathroom, we stop at these cute little restaurants that are very local, and it's kind of an exchange thing. You buy cute little cookies that are real good and little sandwiches. In exchange, you get a bathroom. So I think our whole thing costs less than $1, and we got 2 of these cookies, but we did get to go to a clean bathroom. So to me, that's a good exchange. So this one is a cookie with jam. That's good. It's kind of like a peary kind of jam, and this one's more my favorite. This one's with dulce de leche. See? Doesn't that look good? Every time we stop at these cute little rest stops, we find little friend dogs. It's so nice how their dogs are just real simple and friendly, and they just love being rubbed. What's funny is I just tried to feed him some of my cookie, and he said, "No, thank you. I don't eat sweets." We've stopped at one of the cool places called the Devil's Throat, and what makes this neat is one, this cavern that's carved out by erosion, of course. And the reason it's called the Devil's Throat is because the river was thought to be the house of the devil. People would go down the river to bathe and hang out, and the rushing water that'd come through suddenly from rains of the mountain would just take them away and kill them. So that's why there's so much emphasis in the devil down in the Concho Gorge, is because of the number of people that were just wished away by a river at different times. But I love the beauty of this structure. When you stop here at the Devil's Gorge to enjoy this, you notice that a lot of people who come out with handicrafts every day have things that they've made, and you can actually purchase for some people that are doing fun stuff here. Okay, we've stopped in the Concho Gorge at the 3 crosses. And the reason being is there's actually 3 crosses up the road. Now, what's kind of neat about this place is this is the transition place in the gorge. It's the small part was before where the Devil's Throat was, and when we get down farther, it's going to be the narrow part. And as you see, the rocks aren't as sharp here. This is where we're changing. They're getting younger, they're smoothing, and we actually make it down toward the wine area. They're actually going to be very calm and more plainsy area. So this is a neat place to stop because this is the change spot in the Concho Gorge. When you're here at the 3 crosses, where you're seeing the change, you can actually go up this little hike over here. It's actually rather steep, and when you're going down, because it's been smoothed out, I'm watching some people slide around. I've asked Leo, who's our guide, if it's worth actually going up there, and he said the view is not any different than down here. So unless you really like climbing up the side of mountains, you're perfectly fine just staying here in the parking lot and observing from here. This is one of those oh my word moments. We've added in gypsum to this color, and look at these colors. We just have to stop every mile on the Concho Gorge because this is just plain gorgeous. I'm having the best time looking for the structures and the texture and the color. I am so glad I'm here today. Today is one of those days that I'm really glad I have a private guide driver of Leo, because the fact of the matter is that every mile I keep squealing and saying, oh my gosh, how beautiful. And he keeps having patience to stop and let me see things like this. And the other thing is that he knows the best places to stop. So I'm getting the really amazing experience that you just couldn't do if you're riding on a bus with 20, 30 people. We've gone a whole 2 miles down the road and I made Leo stop again. Look at these colors. This is where we've added in gypsum to this, and that's where you get the lighter colors of the white and whatever. And then the green that's back there, that's copper. That's the patina of copper. It just keeps getting better and better. Now the best part after all this is we get to finish this with wine. But we've made it halfway and I could be doing this all day long. It is just so gorgeous here on the Concho Gorge. Right over here, there's actually what's called the statue. It's now going to be a game with these soft young rocks to see how many weird little things we can see. But he's just right in there as he just stands there with his hands on his hips. Now that we're in the younger rock, they find more structures like this. This one's called a frog, and Mother Nature made him, and then they kind of put a little fence and put rocks. But this is easy to have here because of this soft rock that we're now getting into. But isn't he cute?
It's El Fraile, it means the father. Oh, that slope collapsed, but the statue over there. And as I told you, people are very religious. So, of course, he's praying to the mountain.
I feel like a broken record saying, oh my word, this looks so amazing. But the fact of the matter is this is even better than it was just 2 miles down the road. This is where the river opens up, and technically this is called the Castle of the Titanic because of a structure that is over here that looks kind of like a ship. But everywhere I look, there is just pure awe, beauty, and what I'm staring at. And right in front of me is where the river bends and the world changes, and I just can't get over how much I've never seen a place like this in the world. We've made it out of the gorge. We're now in Cafayate. This is a cute little town. It's very modern compared to any place we've been in Argentina. Like, this is the church. The square is very organized and clean. And there's cute little kiosks where people are selling local things. And a lot of the stuff here is actually truly local. So feel free to shop here from the artisans. And it's a good place to stop before you go and taste wine, which is where we're heading now. And I'm really excited to go see what I can taste. I just keep making more fun friends. For a dog lover, Argentina is just a really fun place because it doesn't matter if they're hanging out here or walking down the street. They just want a little bit of extra love. Now, chickens are another story. These little buggers are not nice and they do not get excited about me. So I am making sure I stay out of their way even though they're really pretty. We're here at Amalaja, which in the native language means miracle. So this is one of the amazing wineries that's down here in Cafayate. We made it through the gorge, and this is why we're here. Is we're going to do some great lunch and wine tasting here. So this will be our reward for making it through 3 hours in the gorge. I'm really excited to actually try all the Argentinian wines that are here. I love wine tastings as much for the tasting experience as the wine, to be exactly honest. And Amalaja is one of those fun places where I'm going to enjoy tasting. They have the inside with the bars and the cool decorations, and they also have a great outside when it's not hot to actually look at the vineyards. This is one of those classy places I enjoy coming. So the tasting has begun, and I've got Trontes mixed with Riesling, and we're here at Amalaja, which is actually kind of an unusual combination for a vineyard to do. We're going to do 4 tastings with 4 foods and have a great experience just hanging out. So this is one of the cool things that you can do that's sophisticated here in northern Argentina. We're in Los Colorados, and this is on the way back from having their wine tasting. We're headed back to Salta, and we had to stop here in the afternoon. Okay, it's 35 C, which means it's definitely hot. We had to stop here now because this is how you get these colors that are around us. This is an old riverbed, and it was that way for millions of years, and then the city decided they wanted not to have the road wash out, so they diverted the river, and now we have this pretty riverbed with all these structures around us that we actually can walk through a slot canyon and enjoy what's behind me, the gorgeous blue sky above, and this red rock around. This is our last stop on our very long but very beautiful day. This is the amphitheater, and it's carved out by erosion, and during the rainy season there's a waterfall back here. But the fact of the matter is that this just shows how gorgeous nature can be. If you hear the gentleman who's playing the harp over here, you literally can hear it just bouncing perfectly, and the wind comes through, and up here at the very top there's parrots that keep flying along, and this is just awe. I mean, I have to tell you, being here in northern Argentina has been just an experience I've never had in my life, and I'm so glad I've done this. Let me tell you why this experience that we've had the last 4 days is so much better than like if you do the buses and the tours and excursions. The fact of the matter is we have Leo, and Leo's been with us for 4 days, and he's been with us in this truck, 4-wheel drive. And what's nice is because he's been doing this for the last 5 years. He does it in the Andes, he does everywhere. And what he did for us was this truck has with it, we've had gasoline, we've had oxygen for high elevation, we've had extra tires, we have all those details. And why is that important? The reason that's important is that that's allowed us, we've done 4-wheel drive river crossings, we've done dirt roads, we've done 4,300 meters. We've done so many things that you cannot do when you're on a normal tour because he's an expert here. And he also, because he's gotten to know us really well, he's gotten to know where we want to see and what we want to do. And he goes, oh, by the way, let's go stop over here and do that. That's what makes being up here in northern Argentina so much different and so much more special and beautiful, is that I've got this guy here who's really made this experience more beautiful, more exciting, and more safe than if I'd done it any other way. So this is how, if you're coming to Argentina, you got to travel with a private guide driver who's got the truck, who's got the knowledge, and who has the gear.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
So this is getting to be the end of our trip here in northern Argentina. If you're enjoying all the experiences I'm showing you, make sure you click on one of these next videos, because we're headed off down to the total opposite of this heat. We're headed down to being on the glaciers and the Beagle Channel and all the cold stuff. So you want to see that to compare it to all this stuff that's here that Mother Nature created.